Hello, welcome to game 3 of the Big Games Champs, Size Champs Edition. Folivora versus BitterWurmcoil. BitterWurmcoil's up 2-0. So Folivora back against the wall. Needs to win one here. These are the 3.5, but obviously if you go down 3-0, you're in real rough shape. So we've got everything that you need to build an engine here. And we don't have anything particularly good to make Guildhall a combo, I don't think. Skulk doesn't really do it. You know, maybe you get it for Scepter stuff. Scepter is going to be pretty nice. Scepter Giant is quite nice. You don't have to have terminal space. You can also play the Scepter on Nomad Camp for plus buy or Skulk for attack or something. Let's see what we open. I think we open Raze on 3-4. I think you open Raze Nomad Camp. You kind of want to get hunting parties into the deck pretty quickly. I think that would be my plan. Open Raze, Nomad Camp, and try to hit a hunting party turn 3. Folivora goes Raze Skulk. I don't really like Raze Skulk. I think there are just a lot of sad draws that you can come across. Although they found one of the happy ones and are going to be able to hit hunting party here on turn 3. Yep. So BitterWurmcoil took the Skulk as well and had the they're marginally unhappy draw, but they're hitting 5 as well. And yeah, I think you just take a couple of Razes here. Razes seem like a good card for now. Probably you get 2, and then you're pretty happy to just stay with 2. Once you start drawing the hunting party, you're gonna be seeing stuff. Hunting party's not as good with Skulk Gold. If we realize we have a bunch of uniques in the deck. And I think the Cellar is just wrong there. I think that was a really lucky draw. To discard 3 coppers, draw 2 coppers gold. Like 2 coppers estate, 2 coppers, 3 coppers seem much more likely draws. I really want another hunting party. I don't quite know. 2 Razes. Yeah, I mean, buying 2 Razes there seems to indicate that the Cellar buy was just a mistake and they should have bought 2 Razes in the first place. Although Folivora is repeatedly bottom decking their hunting party, which is sad. And BitterWurmcoil's finding it, so it looks like she's ahead at this point. And here we can take a Mountain Village, probably. I think Mountain Village seems fine. We could also take a Nomad Camp and top deck it. We have a hunting party down there. We're triggering a pretty reasonable shuffle. It's not actually a good shuffle, but it's got all these coppers in it, but it's a shuffle we have to trigger. Nomad Camp seems fine. 2 Razes seems really overly devoted to thinning. That really hurts. We had a hunting party that we just never got to play this shuffle because of that. We discard 3 here, I think. And then trash, get a gold, trash a copper. I don't know, you might even trash this Raze. We have so many Razes. For Folivora that you trash the Raze, try to find a hunting party, play on. Like, decent chance if you find a hunting party that we're just going to draw a deck here. Yeah, I want more deck control before I add in Lost City and then Giant and then Scepter. I think that's the plan. So I think I want one more hunting party, but I could believe already in a Lost City too. Yeah, BitterWurmcoil feels like she's just been drawing quite a bit better here. And not quite sure what we're doing. I know we have a gold and another hunting party down there, but I don't quite know how many cards to discard. I'm slightly worried that we're going to trigger a bad shuffle, but maybe we're almost guaranteed to get to the end of it. Yeah, so we can trash a copper, play the Skulk. If I counted right, we have a 4th hunting party in those bottom couple. So we can trash a copper, play the Skulk, and buy a Lost City, perhaps. Lost City seems like a reasonable card to add. And then we had Giant next turn, and then Scepter the turn after that. It's a bit slow, but our draws have been quite awkward. Okay, we just trashed the Raze, and we found 2 coppers. So here I think Lost City Raze makes sense to me. We have the Skulk, so we can kind of continue to play it. I think Lost City Raze is fine. Yeah, I mean, you've got 2 left over. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with 2. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It looks like Folivora has a lot more value cards in the deck, but maybe that's just a function of all these races. The Cellar, I will specifically say, is not a value card. Yeah, I mean, Raze, at worst, you trash it to draw a different card. So it seems better than nothing. And here, I think you just take the copper and buy a hunting party. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we can just discard a copper pretty happily. This has not a good shuffle for BitterWurmcoil, obviously, but Folivora has had, I think, 3 of those already. How many Razes are in the trash? 5. 5 Razes in the trash. Make sure to save at least 1, because Giant's going to give out curses and stuff, and you're going to want to thin those. Curses are pretty annoying in hunting party decks. Okay, BitterWurmcoil gets a very early Giant. Already has a Lost City. Already has a Mountain Village, I guess. And I had one at a Mountain Village from Folivora on one of the turns. They took 2 Razes. So Folivora is going to be a half turn behind getting to Giant, I suppose. If you pick up the Giant here. Can we play this hunting party? Yeah, we have 2 hunting parties down there. I'm somewhat concerned about this shuffle, though. I would consider taking the Raze, then playing both hunting parties, and then trashing the Raze. Oh, they actually had 2 hunting parties at the bottom. Yeah. So we have our next 4 cards are somewhat bad, unless you just top deck a hunting party. Okay. Why did we... I don't understand. I don't understand what we just did there, but okay. So I think you just raise this Cellar now. This discard pile has a bunch of crap in it, including a hunting party, but mostly crap. Wow, we got rid of the Skulk? That seems really bad. That seems like a really important card for the deck. I think this board requires a little bit more discipline in terms of trashing coppers than what we're seeing. Well, the Skulk is like the best card in the deck. We had to buy it back. We could have just not triggered the bad shuffle in the first place. So like this is a spot here I'm stopping. I'm raise a copper. Okay, well that I think is resignable now, sadly. BitterWurmcoil here should take a Lost City and a Scepter. Those are the 2 cards you want to add, I believe. Lost City and Scepter. That makes the most sense to me. And we're Sceptering the Giant every turn. And we're thinning a copper, and we just kind of run it back a couple times. We do that same buys. Maybe we get Lost City and Skulk in 2 turns. For more plus buy. But Folivora trashing their own Skulk, and then BitterWurmcoil immediately trashing it back. And Folivora still doesn't have a Giant. So BitterWurmcoil added Skulk hunting party. Skulk Lost City. That seems fine. You get an extra plus buy next turn, so next turn you can buy like Lost City Scepter Raze, or Lost City Hunting Party Raze. Folivora has just drawn really awfully this turn. I mean, they made some misplays, but they've also just drawn really badly. The Mountain Village is kind of nice in case Hunting Party discards a Hunting Party. You can do some stuff there. But I think I'm taking the gold here. We get to play all the stuff. Thin a copper. We've got 9 money. And we can get like Scepter Mountain Village. I'm pretty happy with Scepter Mountain Village for a turn. Scepter is a unique for Hunting Party, which is bad, but it is an action too, so it's like a non-terminal. It's basically a giant that you don't require a terminal space, which is nice. We didn't trash. We got a trash here. Like Mountain Village, you're drawing well enough that the Mountain Village is sufficient over the Lost City. And wow, Folivora just I think you just chuck 6 and be really sad. Folivora doesn't have a Skulk still. This just seems completely over. And somewhat incomprehensibly, like they've gotten very bad luck this game, but I think there are a few things they could have done to mitigate that. What are we sceptering for coins now? And buy we need a Skulk. I wanted to Scepter for coins and buy like Skulk Giant. And we've already got the Scepter for the Giant. They just bought a Skulk for 7. This seems like it should be winning for BitterWurmcoil here. Yeah, this was not a great shuffle, but I think we just thin the coppers here. We want to go down to 0 coppers. I'd rather leave the 2 coppers on top of my deck and thin an extra, I think, than lose a Raze. And I guess BitterWurmcoil has both the Skulks, so they're going to win the hexing war. But it's felt like the hexes have hurt Folivora more, especially with the Skulk trashing Skulk. Yeah, so like Lost City, Scepter, Mountain Village. With Scepters, you do have to watch out. If they giant trash your giant, then your Scepters are all of a sudden kind of lame. But you can just Scepter Skulk or something that turn and hit him with a bunch of hexes. But maybe you want to play with 2 giants. I think one of the things about Skulk is Skulk trashing Skulk I have seen 100 times in my life. It happens a lot. And so, like, in a deck like this where it's your plus buy, it really does kind of behoove you to get a second one, so you've always got 2. And I know you're getting a stop card with the gold. It's annoying that there's a stop card with the gold, but it is an extra attack you can play. It's an extra plus buy. And if your Skulk gets trashed to war or to giant here, you're not just, like, completely out of the game. Folivora had, I think, like 2 full turns where they only had 1 gain. And they had to gain a card back that got trashed, and meanwhile, BitterWurmcoil was just able to add value cards to the deck. I think you can discard 4. I think you have a... We've somehow ended up short on draw here as Folivora. I don't know if the hunting parties didn't both draw or what happened. Folivora's also repeatedly bottom decked the hunting party seemingly in every shuffle. Okay, so we're getting close to pile territory. I think BitterWurmcoil wants to take province this turn, just to get that in. And I don't know why a Nomad camp was purchased. Nomad camp? I have no earthly clue why a Nomad camp was purchased here. I cannot come up with a scenario by which Nomad camp is better than any of these other cards. The Skulk, you got Famine, Envious. Envious is going to be painful, for sure. Maybe we even Scepter on Raze and trash another copper. But yeah, this could be Province, Lost City, Skulk, Mountain Village. I don't really want double Province there. I want to get like 1 Province to get a VP lead. And then and then just drain the piles. But Folivora has seen the writing on the wall. So that is game 2. And we move to game 3. We move to game 4.